And Cy Jenkins wanted me to let you know he has been here for every one. Thank you, Cy. First thing I want to do is put my glasses on. Then I want to introduce our sponsors. We'll talk about the board of directors shortly thereafter. Andrew Wilson, First Vice President, UBS, our treasurer at Hearts. Sponsor. Andrew, where are you? He's got a blue shirt on. You can't miss it. A blue shirt very much like this. All right. Linda Cherish, Northern Trust. Linda, where be you? Thank you. And here we go. We have 405 anonymous donors. None of them are here. Barbara Van Horn is here. Brian Stenfers is here. Easy Ben Hosting is here. Carol H. Davidson is here. Eileen Piatic is here. I met her earlier. Very nice lady. Thank you, Eileen. Karen Sweeney is here. Karen rides with me. I don't know if I'm happy Karen's here or not. Karen Van Horn is here. Kim and Donnie Lieberman are here. Michelle Barine did the flowers for us today, so if you like the flowers, yay, Michelle. Mitchell Kaufman. And Pioneer Pictures is here. That's the fellow and fellows that did the videos you'll soon be seeing. Sloan played the music outside. She was the lady with the guitar. And Studio 8 is here also. Now, if I could, would the board of directors stand up, please? Dusty Stussman, Andrew Wilson, Linda Cherish, Trey Evans, Barrett Reed, Trudy in the back, and I guess me. Have I missed anybody? Sandy Lovett. There, way in the back, Sandy. Sorry about that. I didn't see her stand up. And also, there's some folks from the county of Santa Barbara here, and I want to take a second. You guys have all heard all kinds of things about our move up the hill. And what I want to tell you is the county couldn't have been more helpful, still remains helpful, and has been a wonderful, wonderful partner in our move up the hill. So I don't care what you've heard, the county has been fantastic. We love working with them, and thank them for giving us a 200-year, $1 a year lease. Well, that's not exactly true. I made that part up. So at this stage of the game, I believe, if I'm correct, Pam, should I be introducing our executive director? Pam Mickelson. Come on up, Pam.
So in addition to the thanks that he passed on, I'd love for the staff of Hearts to stand up and be recognized. Obviously, we couldn't do what we did without them, and they're amazing. And the other big group that we have that's an amazing part of Hearts is our volunteers. And so there are many in the room. If you would give them a rousing round of applause. So we've got a couple great speakers. We've got an amazing video. Just to let you know, since we've been in this room a year ago, we've had some fun additions at Hearts. One of the big things that we've added to Hearts is a motorized lift for those who are in wheelchairs and mobility impaired. And that was paid for through Joe and Lisa Sibbs out of Austin, and also the Ranchero Po Boys. So let's give them a big hand. Just a couple other things. Morgan and some folks that are here today. We got a new website and a lovely new logo, which you'll hear a little bit more about that in a minute. So we've added some, little bit of window dressing, if you will. And we're also at a full herd, which is a really great place to be. We've got a full stable of 18 horses, lots of varieties. I hope you all got a chance to meet Vinny and Pippa. Our minis who were with us earlier, they're not actually here because there's carpeting. And they were gracious enough to let us have them out front, but I didn't think we could push it that far. But all of you in the room represent what makes Hearts special. And, Hearts has been around since 1985, and there have been many, many people who have dedicated time, effort, talent, treasures to this organization. And today I'd like to honor somebody in particular. Barbara Tamayan has been with Hearts for 14 years. Logo necklace.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just an aside, Barb and I have been volunteering at Hearts for about the same length of time, 14 or 15 years, and we remember when we had to take the Wells Fargo stage to get to Hearts on time to do a lesson.
Thank you. And it just makes my heart so happy. As I was driving here this morning, I thought, gosh, you know, we've been doing this for a long time. We've grown from a very small organization to what it is today, and Pam and Grits are doing a great job, and I'm just so proud of what Hearts is and has become, and it just brings me total joy. Thank you so much.
Karen Sweeney has been riding with us for several years now, and she's going to share her story and tell you what Hearts means to her.
Equine therapy has helped me in so many incredible, wonderful ways. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I'm going to try to do this without crying. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. MS is an unpredictable, often disabling neurological disease with no cure. MS affects my central nervous system and balance. It affects my nerves and the muscles, which makes it at times very difficult and very painful for me to walk. From the very first day that I pulled onto Hearts property, I had a huge smile. Seeing all the beautiful horses and the calming surroundings, I knew I was in a very special place. My therapy started at that very moment. I've been taking lessons for a year and a half, twice a week. When I first came to Hearts, I was going once a week with 3 volunteers by my side. In the past several months, I had a second class, with sometimes just 2 volunteers. My riding and my confidence has improved greatly. Going to Hearts has given me physical and psychological therapy. Horses and riding horses has immediately a healing connection, like no other thing I've experienced. Just think of a place that's based on kindness and healing. That's the Hearts community. The energy is like no other place I've ever experienced. I'm so fortunate to have the guidance of my wonderful instructors, Susan, Shannon, and Tom Gritz. They are gifted with the ability to help me on my healing journey. It's their tenacity that guides me through each of my classes. A huge, huge component is the volunteers. On each of my 50-minute rides, I have 3 wonderful supportive volunteers around me. They're by my side of my horse, so I won't fall. I'm so grateful for their kindness and their time. I want to tell you about my special buddy, Snickers. Snickers is the horse I ride twice a week in my classes. Most of my classes are bareback with riding blankets. I ride their way to build up my core strength so that I can always concentrate on my balance and my posture. Snickers and I have bonded in so many wonderful ways. Like myself, Snickers is getting up in age. When I'm having an off day physically or mentally, or I get fatigued during my rides, he just takes care of me. He just intuitively knows that I'm not at my best. Before my MS diagnosis, I was a very active person. I bicycled, I ran, I swam. That slowly changed after my diagnosis. As you can imagine, it was a complete lifestyle change. Horseback riding has brought a wonderful activity that I can do, and I love. Riding is helping my strength and my pain level. I can tell you that my pain level is 80% better since I've been riding. Several years ago, I felt that riding horses would be beneficial. I certainly read over the years that horse therapy did wonderful healing for children with disabilities. I recently moved to Santa Barbara, When I arrived, I met my friend for lunch. When we ran into a girlfriend of hers, my friend introduced me to this woman. This woman was named Sandy. My friend proceeded to tell me what Sandy does. She volunteers at Heart's Equine Therapy. I immediately asked Sandy, do they work with adults? Do they work with adults with neurological diseases? Sandy said, absolutely. And proceeded to write down all of Heart's information. I received a gift that day. Words cannot express my gratitude and my love and the support I received from Hearts. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. So we're going to watch a video now that will share more stories, and then we'll have another speaker after that.
Heart's Therapeutic Equestrian Center is a facility that serves people of all ages with a variety of disabilities, disorders, and medical conditions. It's a place where people come to get help, to feel included, to feel a part of a family, to feel connected. We are a PASS-certified premier accredited center. We utilize therapeutic horses both for riding and for groundwork.
Equine therapy is a wonderful alternative or supplement to physical therapy, to cognitive behavioral therapy, to counseling. The way a horse moves mimics the way that we move. The way their hips move mimic the way that we move. So what it does is, for those, for instance, in a wheelchair, it allows those muscles that they don't get to use on a day-to-day basis to get fired up and respond to the movement of the horse.
So it's this really unique movement that really benefits our participants or our riders' core muscles. Stabilization, helps with balance, hand-eye coordination, all while horseback riding. So it's a really fun therapy to boot.
You have an instructor, you have volunteers that are there with you on your team, and of course you have the horse. And the relationship that our clients build with the horses is amazing. Often we find children who are nonverbal speak their first words to the horse.
Seeing a child who doesn't speak, who says walk on, that makes everybody cry.
The horses are their therapists. The horses are their best friend when they come in here. They're supportive of them. They allow them to see the world from higher off the ground.
Everyone who comes here tells us that it's a safe and happy place and that they leave better off than when they got here.
We have 3 daughters all together, so 3 girls is a challenge in itself. Danny is our youngest. She's 8 years old now. She has a rare form of cerebral palsy. Before coming to Hearts, Danny didn't walk on her own. She would attempt to stand on her own and fall several times a day. We never had prior experience with horses, so I imagine it was intimidating for her. She loved it. We knew right away that this is where we needed to be, and this was an activity we needed to have in Danny's life. The most noticeable changes in Danny is in her mobility. She is walking, running, jumping. She is keeping up with her classmates on the playground. She's playing with kids in the neighborhood, riding bikes with them, swimming with them. She is enjoying so much more physical activity. Brooke is a little spitfire the minute she wakes up and is on the go. Brooke has been recently diagnosed with ADHD. She has a very hard time focusing, following multi-step directions. Now riding at Hearts, it's incredible to watch the focus she has while on the horse. What I'm seeing her doing really well with is looking people in the eye and saying hello. She's starting to answer with a bigger voice. Having both of the kids in a lesson together has been really fun. They are showing us a competitive streak that we haven't seen at home. Both of them push each other to keep striving for greatness. My favorite thing about Hearts is the people. Every week when we come up here, we are greeted by the most wonderful group of volunteers, staff members, instructors, wonderful horses, can't forget Bob. Everyone is so kind and so welcoming that when I come up here, and once the kids are on the horse, I can take a moment and just enjoy watching my kids have a great time. It means so much.
Equine facilitated learning and therapy utilize a horse as an assistant therapist. These sessions are held on the ground. This doesn't involve any riding, and you don't need any horsemanship skills. What we're looking for is providing an opportunity for humans and horses to interact naturally, and so we're relying on body language, sensations, and the idea of metaphor, where I can use the horse's behavior and interaction as a metaphor for what is happening for the human in the arena.
Several years ago, we started building a program called Horsepower, which is also known as Equine Facilitated Learning. We started out working with Girls Inc. of Greater Santa Barbara, and they have been an amazing partner to work with. Their goals of empowering young women and getting them to be bold and confident, it's a really great fit for services. It's an opportunity to expand what we do and meet a need that's in the community that's really important.
These young girls are so brave and so smart and so much fun that it has been really a wonderful experience.
We have 3 9-week sessions throughout the year, but we also do a summer camp with them. They get to ride 3 days, and then they do groundwork the other 2 days. And it's amazing how in 5 days, the shifts that you see with the girls' confidence, but also within the bigger structure of their families.
And our goal really is to facilitate the relationship with the horse, but also to encourage the girls as a team to work together. We talk to the girls about being the leader, about being in charge, and that the horse is relying on them to tell them what to do. They are actually learning to communicate with the horse and get that horse to follow them. That these little girls gain the confidence and the leadership to talk to their horse and then actually turn their back on this huge animal and walk around the arena with this horse following them. When they come out of that arena, I always say, "So tell me, what was that like?" One little girl said, "This was the best day of my life." That's an incredible skill and an incredible confidence builder for these girls.
Someone once remarked to me, she said, "You mean you've taken Corey riding every Saturday for 31 years? And of course, yes, I have. And I've been delighted, to do so, and she's been delighted to do so. So Corey really is one of the original students. Her biggest challenge in the early days was developmental, and her retardation made it very, very difficult for her to understand concepts like cause and effect. It took years of riding before Corey really knew that she could control the horse. That was a huge breakthrough. We've really been through kind of the opposite of some kids who are the clients of Hearts. In the case of Corey, her physicality has deteriorated. When she started riding, she didn't have any braces, and the wheelchair has been a big change for her. That's why we're very excited about the lift. She calls it flying. We want her to be able to keep walking as long as she possibly can, and she can do that on the horse through the 2 points and trotting. All those kinds of activities maintain and improve her core strength. My favorite thing about Hearts is the joy that it brings Corey. And she likes an audience. So she can get an audience, you know, when she comes up here. She likes to perform. She likes to tell her knock-knock joke.
No, no.
Who's there?
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Dwayne, who?
Dwayne the bottom. I'm drowning.
Okay, I will Dwayne it.
She loves ribbons. You know, so the horse show is a big deal, but it doesn't make any difference whether it's a yellow ribbon or a red ribbon or a blue ribbon. My favorite picture is her looking at a red ribbon, you know, and I mean, just the expression on her face. We're working now on this physical deterioration, and we're going to keep working on that so that Corey will be able to ride for the rest of her life. It means a great deal to me. It really does. And I know it means a great deal to Corey.
All of this could not work if we didn't have our dedicated volunteers. They devote so much time to us, and they develop really deep connections with their participants.
Volunteers don't just come and volunteer their time, they volunteer their hearts. They connect with our participants, they connect with our horses, they connect with each other.
They are the most supportive, committed, non-judgmental group of people. It is core to what we do, and we could not have any successes without our volunteers.
Often we have people who come because they love horses. But what we hear time and time again is that I came for the horses, but I stayed for the people.
They've become a family together, a supportive family here to root on our participants, to be here to cheer them on, and to really advocate for them. It's rewarding work up here.
Hearts utilizes a lot of volunteer hours. We have almost 18,000 hours a year, which is the equivalent of 9 full-time staff members. Their donation of time is such a critical aspect of how we're able to continue on as our program grows. But in addition to that donation of time, we also require donations of funds. It's important to us to keep our costs low for our participants. A lot of times the people in our programs have a lot of other costs that are going on in their lives.
One of the ways we're able to keep our costs low is receiving contributions from the community. So, for example, the lift was donated to us. The coverings that we have for the viewing areas were donated to us. Hearts was built from the ground up from generous contributions from our community, which means that we can in turn provide these services at lower costs for our participants, which hopefully allows even more people to receive the benefits of our programs.
You know, when I think of Hearts and think of coming to Hearts, I always have a smile on my face.
We all have a commitment to make this a better place, and we all care greatly about each other.
It's about love. It's loving the horses. It's loving the students. It's watching the students smile and glow and giggle.
Everything we do up here, we do with all of our heart. We do with a ton of love. We do it with a ton of support.
What Hearts means to me is inclusivity with everybody here, with the people, with the volunteers, with our horses, with nature. It's a connection with all of those pieces, and it's a connection through love.
We have a lot of heart here at Hearts.
Thank you to each of you for taking the time out of your busy day to be here to support Hearts and the programs that they provide for our community. I'm here to talk with you about our equine facilitated learning and psychotherapy program. This program provides its participants with incredibly memorable and healing experiences, some of which you've already heard. I am so moved by the work that we do with the horses on the ground that it's the perfect complement to our therapeutic riding program. I want to take a minute and tell you all how I got here. Daniel, this is popping. Should I back up? Okay. 3 years ago, I decided to take a leap towards a dream to combine my love of animals with my psychotherapy practice. I ended up at Hearts, volunteering in the therapeutic riding program. What I experienced in those lessons inspired me in ways that I didn't expect. As you've heard, we have students from all ages, all abilities, who find the courage and strength to communicate and command their horses. I love assisting in those lessons and witnessing the change of our students. Yet besides learning to move their horse, I thought something else was going on there. I saw a relationship that was developing between rider and horse, and both seemed to be buoyed by that connection. I was intrigued, and as I discovered with my research, indeed, establishing a relationship with the horse can be therapeutic. Who'd have thought? As a result, utilizing my background in mental health, I became certified to conduct equine facilitated learning and psychotherapy. I got tremendous support from my Hearts staff and team to take this program and go forward. This model for learning and psychotherapy utilizes activities with horses for human growth and learning. One thing I love about it, which is a lot, but one of the best things I love about it is it's a team approach. It's a collaborative effort between mental health professional, equine specialist, and the horse. Together, we provide the environment for people to learn about themselves and develop a relationship with a horse. And by the way, this work occurs all on the ground, no riding necessary. Relationship is why horses make such excellent therapy partners. Equines thrive in herds. Their sophisticated social skills ensure their survival. Our human participants join the herd. They learn how to communicate with a horse through observation, touch, and body language. Learning to move with confidence, trust, and respect creates opportunities for our students and clients to gain self-awareness and insights. And then these discoveries carry into all aspects of their lives. Establishing a positive relationship with a horse requires the awareness and recognition of mutual trust between human and horse. As a result, participants are rewarded with the horse's attention and cooperation. No sidebars there. So one of my adolescent students described this so beautifully. She came to our summer camp program, and she was in our EFL group. This young woman knew how to ride. She knew how to use her arms and legs, the tack, the bit, the reins, to move and command her horse. Yet in our group, we don't use those tools. So instead, she learned how to observe her horse, how to move towards and away from him, to pet and groom him, to stand silently by his side. In the round pen, alone with her horse, she spent some quiet time. And then she turned her back and began to walk. Her horse followed her. She kept walking. The horse followed her. She sped up, she slowed down, she changed directions, all the while accompanied by her equine at her heels. When she came out of the pen, her smile was magnificent. She was shiny. So I asked her, what was it like to have your horse following you? She said, I can't believe this, that horse chose to follow me without a lead rope. She said, you know, I feel more accomplished than when I'm riding the horse because we walked together as peers, side by side. In those moments, learning and healing occurs, and it is those moments that secure my belief in the power of this work. And often that experience is beyond words. So besides having a peak experience with your horse, research and documentation tells us that developing a relationship with a horse on the ground boosts the human immune system and increases our production of oxytocin. Those are good benefits. The act of breathing and petting a horse calms both equine and human. Almost everyone can benefit from these experiences. Those living with depression to trauma, to those wanting to increase their self-confidence and their leadership skills. All find some relief and success through interaction with our horses in our equine facilitated learning and psychotherapy programs. Before I close, I would like to introduce you to part of the EFL team. I want to introduce you to Lauren Hayes, one of our equine specialists. We've been working together for the last year. And Lauren, I want to thank you for your horsemanship and your dedication. Peter Clayton is also here today. He is a psychologist. He works as a mental health professional and equine specialist. Peter is responsible for creating and maintaining the Santa Barbara Youth Project and from that project, he brings children from CALM to participate in our groups. This is an incredible healing for those clients. And Mary Ann Evans, where are you? Mary Ann, our pioneer. Mary Ann is a neuropsychologist, and she truly started our EFL and equine facilitated psychotherapy program at Hearts. Mary Ann, thank you so much for all the years of dedication and work. Myself and the Hearts team are dedicated to our equine facilitated learning and psychotherapy program. We look forward to creating many more opportunities for people and horses to interact. We believe our students and clients who participate in this program leave Hearts with improved self-esteem, more confidence, and emotional resilience, all qualities necessary for creating positive relationships and success in their lives. Thank you for your attention and support.
I'd like to acknowledge the sage hens, the fillies, the rancheros vistadores, the Los Rancheros Pobres. Gentlemen, come on, blue shirts up. We got to do this. You wore those blue shirts for a reason. The Santa Barbara Trail Riders, the Montecito Trails Association, the Hope Ranch Trails Association. All of these horse organizations have helped Hearts for a long, long time. A couple more folks I want to thank. Cy and Karen Jenkins and Josiah have been probably our longest donors as far as I know. Never ever failed. Cy, Karen, Josiah, thank you very much. Jean, thank you very much for years and years and years.
Today, we've had a wonderful lunch in a beautiful setting, and we've heard some pretty amazing, inspiring, and heartwarming stories about what this organization does. Well, they say money can't buy everything, but I saw today that money has bought a lot of joy and healing. And we have to find a way to keep that going. So let's get down to numbers. What do you think $1,000 will buy? Well, you can sponsor a student for 12 weeks with that $1,000. Or you can get vet care for horse. Yeah, they need doctors too. That's only a little bit of money there for something that's so wonderful as what they do at Hearts. Now, Rich is going to help me here. He said, there's a lot of people out there that want to give more than $1,000. I said, really? Well, so what do you think 5,000 is going to bring? Let's see. Well, you heard about the EFLP program. I couldn't pronounce it, so I used letters. Equine Facilitated Learning Program. It's one of my favorite things, so inspiring. It helps so many young people move ahead in life. Or you can maintain a therapy horse from head to toe, or head to hoof, for a year. Now, if you really want to make a difference, how about $10,000? You can feed all of the horses at Hearts for 3 months. Or you can provide 16 students with a 3-month session of lessons. Or you can send 30 kids to camp, horse camp. So, I don't like public speaking necessarily, so I went out this morning and I talked to my horse. Kind of had him give me a few, little hints and helps. And he said, tell him the only thing you take with them is what you leave behind. And I don't mean horse poop. So, there are many, many ways to support Hearts. There are many levels to support Hearts.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. Hope to see you all next year. God bless you all.